All right, good evening, Atlas Defense followers and clients. Um, Today is our second official uh, Atlas Defense kitchen talk. Trying to do this every single Monday now. Know we're running a little bit late today, but that's all right. Still getting information across. One of the things I want to talk about today was actually traveling across state lines with your firearms and with your permit to carry, whether or not you have one, and some of the common sense steps and common sense tips that I recommend and that I would recommend that you look into for yourself as well. Um, what happened this past weekend was actually my fiance and I traveled down to Indiana to visit some family and to have our wedding shower. And I decided to travel with my firearms because visiting my family, we're usually going to shoot something. So I figured I might as well bring all of them. And so that being said, I decided to do a little bit of research really quick. And as I already knew, I could legally carry in Wisconsin and Indiana, but I could not legally carry in the state of Illinois. Now, the way I did that, I just was just a simple, quick Google search. I usually go through usacarry.com because they have a very simple to use interactive map that you can just click on the state that you have your current resident and non-resident permits to carry in, and it'll show you which states you can carry in. I already kind of knew, like I said, that I didn't have any reciprocity in Illinois because of their restrictive firearms carrying laws. So that for that reason, I actually brought along my lockbox. It's the same lockbox that I brought to Phoenix, actually. If you guys saw my previous kitchen talks when I was in Phoenix, Arizona, a couple months ago, I brought a lockbox all along with me, and I brought that lockbox in my car because I was actually driving down to Indiana. So brought that lockbox with, and all that I did was actually in Beloit, Wisconsin, right before the Illinois border. Pulled over, got some gas, and I just I unloaded my firearm and put it inside that lockbox, put it in the very back of my car, made sure the ammunition was a completely separate part of my car too, and traveled through the great state of Illinois with my firearms, completely legally, and I was not worried in any way, shape, or form about getting pulled over because I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong. So, at any rate, as soon as I crossed back into friendly country, if that's what you could call it, as soon as I crossed into Indiana, we pulled over again, got some gas, and took my firearm out and put it right back on my hip. So again, it's I know a lot of people might make a bigger deal about traveling interstate with your firearms than they really need to. And honestly, all it comes down to is doing your research and making sure that you're presenting yourself as a responsible member of the gun owners community. Now, what that actually means is going above and beyond the law. And I know a lot of gun owners may not be very comfortable with conceding that fact that being a part of the gun owners community and being a positive force in the gun owners community means going above and beyond those bare minimum requirements. And I know that for myself, I just decided that the best way to go about doing that was when I was actually traveling with my AR-15, and I brought my AR-15 in a hard side case, and what I did was I took the entire bolt out and put that bolt in a separate lockbox too, because not just because I was trying to show a potential police officer or a state trooper that I was being safe, but also worst case scenario, if my car gets broken into, or if I get into an accident, or if something happens and my firearm gets separated from my person or from my immediate vicinity, I want to make sure that that firearm is not operable, especially my AR-15. So that's why I took the bolt out, put it in a separate lockbox, and I had my AR-15, I had my upper and lower receiver in one case, and I had the bolt in another case. And the entire time that I was traveling, I never let my car be out by itself. And you can ask my fiance, and that was part of our deal when we were traveling. Somebody always had to be with the car, and I mean that's something that kind of comes back, I guess, to my Marine days. Always putting somebody on a gear watch, and again, that for translating that into the civilian world, that just comes down to being a responsible member of the gunners community, never leaving your firearms unsecured, and also making sure that you're doing everything that you possibly can to mitigate or avoid any type of situation that would put your firearms in the wrong hands. Um, that's also why the other reason that I kept those things separate was because and I kept them locked too, even in the the hard case was locked with the padlocks and cable locks. Um, was because what worst case scenario, if I get into an accident, there's no telling what's gonna go flying out of my car in what direction. And if one of my firearms was unsecured, flew out of my car, if I got into an accident, the car rolled, and for some reason, if one of my firearms was not secured, they could have gone anywhere. And that would have been a tough conversation to have with state troopers or with the police officers saying, oh, my guns, I had a couple of guns in my car, but I'm not really sure where they could have gone because, I rolled my car a couple of times and things went flying everywhere. And now, there may be a firearm just laying around in the accident scene that they have to find now. So that's the other reason that I am that cautious when I travel with my firearms. I'm not really doing it out of an obligation I feel to the law. I'm doing it out of an obligation I feel to the rest of society as a whole. That obligation that I feel is to be a responsible gun owner. And I hope that that's something that as I continue to do that, and as I continue to shoot these videos and share this information, and at least my paradigm, the paradigm that I apply to carrying and being a member of the gun owners community, I hope that's some type of mentality that you guys can start to consider for yourselves too. And that's just going above and beyond what the law requires. And I understand, it's our Second Amendment right, it's our God-given right to carry and own firearms, but when people do just that bare minimum, they're the ones that become the statistics, and they're the ones that get charged with negligence, with negligent homicide when their children pick up their unsecured firearms and pull the trigger. And they're the ones that make us look bad. They're the ones that go out and pull the trigger at a Walmart when they see a shoplifter. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about there. Um, and what I want to do is try to elevate the gun owners community as a whole and bring us all up on a similar level and be a positive force that is really relatable and a positive force that people aren't necessarily too scared of. I know that a lot of people want to be feared for some reason, and that doesn't get us anywhere. So, at any rate, that's gonna be my kitchen talk topic for today, and I hope to see you guys at my launch party this Sunday, um, August 14th at Stock and Barrel Gun Club in Chanhassen. I'm pretty excited about that. It's gonna be a pretty fun sales event, some giveaways, gonna have some range time going on. Good friend of mine, friend of Atlas Defense too, donated a good amount of firearms, his own personal collection, for the range day portion of that event as well. We're gonna have a couple merchandise giveaways as well, and like I said, some promotional pricing on our products too and services because that's what the launch party is a event, a sales event. Got my new T-shirts in, as you guys can see, Atlas Defense, with the hopefully you guys can see that logo on the back. Got those in recently from Osco Design out in Monticello. Helped me do a little redesign of my T-shirts. Got some more coverage for the space and for what I was paying, which is awesome guy out there in Monticello, Jason at Osco Design. Thanks for helping me push these T-shirts out. But all of those out there at the launch party too. Some other gifts and giveaways and whatnot too. And what else do we have? Oh yeah. Also have 2 situational awareness seminars coming up. One with Twin Cities Scene Magazine on August 16th. That's going to be an LGBT situational awareness seminar. And on August 27th, working with another Jason, a different Jason, at Undisputed Strength and Conditioning in Egan on the 27th. And yeah, so those big 3 events are still coming up soon. First one, of course, though, is going to be the launch party, and we have a great time there. So hope to see everybody there, and as usual, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, your confidence builds competence, or competence builds confidence. You know what I'm talking about.